Hello, hello, hello! I am Kasasagi Usagi, and I am here with more Final Fantasy XIV. So, we are going to continue our 2.4 main story quest, and then we will give pause and finish up the Coils, and that should, I believe, wrap up the entire, afternoon, I think? That should be the entire stream. But we shall see. My thanks for coming, Scion. Doubtless the commander has informed you, but we have unmasked the Ivy. From this point on, we must proceed with extreme caution. That's the Dragoon outfit. It is very cute. But that's the ninja outfit. That is also very cute. Oh. I think we have a winner. Ilbert is convinced that he has discovered the Ivy's identity and is preparing to move against the Garlean spy. Listen well. The spy we have been seeking all this time is none other than the Flame Marshal Aline Royale, Roban's second in command. Prior to joining the Immortal Flames, she was a mercenary of no small renown. They say her skill with a polearm had to be seen to be believed. Of Ishgardian birth, she is the highest ranked foreigner in the Immortal Flames, barring the Flame General himself, of course. When he formed the Grand Company, Raban chose people based on their worth. Whence they hailed was of no interest. The monetarists saw things differently, however. Having funded the enterprise, they reserved the right to reject candidates nominated for high-ranking positions. And 'twas no secret that they did not favor foreigners, Ishgardians especially, after the way the Holy See forsook the alliance. Yet the monetarists did not raise so much as a murmur of protest when Royale was appointed to her post. Passing strange, is it not? Could it be that the Ivy has some hold over the monetarists? But these revelations are secondary to our current mission. Of foremost of interest to us, Royale's presence here now. As you may be aware, it is the duty of the Flame Marshal to command the Immortal Flames in the absence of the Flame General. While Roban attended the Council of the Alliance leaders, she should have remained in the Hall of Flames. The woman has no business being in Gridania, yet here she is nonetheless, on some pretense. She is up to something, mark my words. Even as we speak, I have a dozen men trawling the Flames records for evidence of Royale's guilt. But if we can catch her red-handed, we shall have all the proof we need. Which brings me to the plan. I have been watching the city gates, the airship landing, and the docks, every point of egress. She cannot leave without our knowledge. All that remains is to shadow her until she betrays her true purpose. Can I rely upon your eyes, Scion? You have my thanks. Let us go then, and take care not to alert our quarry. Oh, I'm still on the wrong side. Let me just scoot myself back over to where I belong. I didn't fix it yesterday. Ooh, there I go. Remove chat. I didn't fix it yesterday, but I have to fix it today. It's making me a little crazy. Why am I walking? Why am I RP walking? It's really sad because we've known Royale from pretty... Oh, baby, yes. Look at that sword. Yes, yes, yes. These weapons, these purple weapons, they come from the EX... so my favorite boss fight is in Shadowbringers. If you do the harder version of that boss fight, you get these purple weapons. But now, if you get a special item from those from that fight, you can make these weapons with a special effect. And pretty much every boss fight has one of those. Ifrit, Ramu, Leviathan, Titan. Garuda. They all have special effect weapons, if you can get the special pieces for them. So this is my favorite boss's weapons. And oh baby. Yes, 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 yes. Man's got good taste. Royale's head in the direction of the Blue Badger Gate. With me, Scion. Stop looking at that man's sword and let's go. She's getting away. So Royale has entered the caroling canopy. Meeting someone perchance? Or could it be she means to board an airship? Pray look for her within. If she is not on the upper floor, try the landing area below. One of mine is stationed there, and she may have seen something. Ethany is her name, and I shall remain here in case Royale appears. I see no woman. Akaliana, such an unexpected pleasure. What brings you here? Ahem, a social visit, you say. How pleasant. No, she didn't come this way. I've noted every passenger, and none bore any resemblance. Well, don't let me keep you. Nowhere to be seen, you say. Are you sure she did not board an airship? She did not come back out either. Where in the seven hells could she have gone? The roost! Oh, how could I forget? Greetings, good sir. Might I interest you in some one-toy tunic? A cup a day imbues a man with great vigor, if you take my meaning. Perhaps another time, friend. Wait, that necklace. You are a shinobi of Doma. The woman you seek has left Gridania by the way of the West Shore Pier. She was attired as a merchant, but these eyes could not so easily be deceived. You may wish to take your search to the East Shroud. Rest assured that we will continue to support you from the shadows. Thank the 12 for the Domans. Were it not for their unique talents, Royale would have disappeared without a trace. I am not saying her name right. These are all very good. I don't have a bard, though. The caster one is actually amazing, but it has got the worst case of clipping I've ever freaking seen. It looks like garbage. Ugh, but look at it. Look at it. So we gotta wear our healing one. Can I? Oh, it looks so bad dyed. Oh, that's a tragedy. Ugh, we have finally removed all our white mage clothing. Now we look like a very cool battle mage, though. Excuse me. It's not bad. I wish it died better. I needed a new weapon. I'm so tired of looking at this face. Ilbert is eager to resume the pursuit of Eileen Royale. Our hunt leads us to the East Shroud, Scion. I suggest we follow Royale's example and take the ferry from West Shore Pier. You doubtless wish to make certain preparations. See to them while I go on ahead. I shall wait for you at Sweet Plume Pier. Oh? Are you already lost in the glamour sauce? Oh. So, your Chocobo has skills, as you may or may not know. And you level, as he levels up, he gets levels. And when you reach the end of each of these, he gets an outfit because you can change what your chocobo is wearing. So if you get him to 10 for Defender, he gets a Paladin costume. He gets a White Mage costume, Dragoon costume. And it's very good. Yeah, and then you feed him all these veggies to get him to change colors. I can actually give you the color chart so you know what you need to get him looking fabulous. This way, my friends. Your quarry makes for the Hawthorn hut. If Royale is truly the one we seek, we can expect that she means to make contact with her Garlean masters there. An explanation is in order. You are no doubt aware that the Garleans have their own method of communicating over great distances. Well, our genius friends here at Garland Ironworks have provided us with devices which disrupt these communications, and we have installed them around the city-states. In doing so, we have made it difficult for Imperial agents to correspond with their masters. Royale would thus have no choice but to rendezvous with her Imperial contact directly. Yet, as a well-known face in the Immortal Flames, she cannot move about Thanalan without being recognized. It would only be a matter of time before someone saw through her disguise. 'Tis for this reason, I believe, that she has chosen the Black Shroud for her clandestine meeting. The Elysian are a common sight here, and her comings and goings are not likely to turn any heads. As my scouts tell it, the Garleans have sent agents with a mind to destroy the devices and render such contact unnecessary. Fortunately, our shinobi have thus far been successful in rebuffing their efforts. This is it. We need only make for Hawthorn Hut and catch Royale at the act. If Royale was out here, she is no more. We have no choice but to continue the pursuit. My people report that our quarry has departed for the Bramble Patch. The ivy returns to the gnarls whence she came, but perhaps it is all for the better. To convict someone of her standing, we will require damning evidence against her. What could be better than to catch her in the act when she meets with her Garlean masters? My countrymen and I shall lie in wait in the shadows. Tread warily, my friends. She'll never see me coming. Just beyond, Royale is in conversation with an individual clad in the armor of an adventurer, an Imperial intermediary, no doubt. This is it. With me. Flame Marshal Aline Royale, you are under arrest for treason and espionage. You were followed, you bloody fool. Damnation. You are unarmed, my lady, and scarcely garbed for battle, but if you wish to fight, you are welcome to try. What is the meaning of this, Captain? Would you arrest me for strolling in the Twelves Wood? When last I looked, that was no crime, and neither was conversing with passing strangers. You would feign ignorance, then. Very well. If you do think of something to say, there will be plenty of time later. Now come quietly, or I shall make you wish you had. Yeah, if you are a tank or a healer, you don't have to wait very long for cues. If you are a DPS, however, you're looking at about 10 to 15 minutes. I will offer you no struggle. After all, I have naught to hide. Even a warrior of Royale's renown could not have hoped to escape by force despite her claims. Her surrender does not bespeak innocence, but an awareness of that her position is untenable. With the ivy thus uprooted, it is hoped that the tendrils she entwined around the immortal flames will gradually wither and die. Mayhap then the people of Ul'dah will have a grand company they deserve. But let us speak of the present. If I might ask, what will you do now, Akali? So the Scions seek a way into Iceheart's sanctum. Then I dare say you are eager to return to the Rising Stones. Pray do not let me keep you. Fear not, my countrymen and I shall tend to the aftermath. You need not waste your talents here. And speaking of talents, you have been training in the art of shinobi, have you not? The change in your bearing is quite evident to me, at least. I look forward to seeing you in action. Till next time, my friend. Oh, that's so cool. So because I do have ninja unlocked, I got special dialogue with her. I thought we had missed all of that because I was not quite up to snuff at the time. Oh, how delightful. What am I doing? Rising Stones. Oh, I think everyone's a new... Steady, steady. Not bad, eh? With a little more practice, I could earn a fortune at the Ruby Road Exchange. She is juggling a dagger and an axe. Or like a little hatchet. So that is actually quite impressive. Totoro has grown beyond childish fantasies of becoming a songstress. Now she aspires to be a legendary street performer. She cannot be seriously considering it. Life as a street performer should be one's last resort, not their first. A rousing tale of a comrade's valor. Truly we are fortunate to count Lady Yugiri as a friend. Dangrid's tales of Lady Yugiri almost bag your belief. My heart is fair fit to burst from admiration. Yes, but Higari, you're missing the point. The individual doesn't matter. It was a team effort, and I was the one who... Oh, Dangrid. You're... Ugh. Look at everybody squatting. I could do this all day. Ugh. I cannot go on much longer. Strength, Hore! On your honor as a scion, I forbid you to surrender. I must admit the exercise of yours never fails to amuse me. While its movements appear comical, it does seem to have the desired effect. It's a battle of wills, a struggle of supremacy. Our fighting styles might differ, but this unyielding spirit is the same in warriors the world over. God, I wish I had the squad emote. I wish I had it so bad. Maybe one day. On this character? Well, perhaps not, actually. It's a lot of work. Welcome back, Akali. I understand that Alphino had a task for you. May I ask what it was? Charges of treason and espionage against Aline Royale? I can scarce believe it. Could there not have been some manner of misunderstanding? No, it avails us not to dwell on it. Whatever the truth may be, we must trust on the authorities to uncover it. Let us speak of another matter. I am pleased to report that we have made progress in our efforts to find a way into Iceheart's sanctum. Minfilia has never been one to hesitate when it comes to asking others for aid. As you may recall, Iceheart used the Aetheryte in the depths of Snowcloak to teleport a short distance to the west, most likely to a sanctuary of some description. It is there that we suspect that she means to summon Shiva, using the crystal she stole from House Fortomp's caravan. The heretics believe that they are bringing about the second coming of their patron saint, but if, as we suspect, they mean to hold a summoning ritual of the kind employed by the beast tribes, it seems likely that the result will be something more akin to a primal. Suffice it to say, they must be stopped, and stop them we shall. But first, we must surmount the obstacle that Iceheart has placed in our path. Ordinarily, it would be a simple matter to tap into the established Aethernet, and thereby follow our quarry. However, despite our best efforts, we have been unable to ascertain the position of the Aetheryte to which she teleported. Our prevailing theory is that she destroyed the second Aetheryte upon arrival, a reckless, desperate measure, but also an effective one. After discussing the matter at length with Urianger, we have concluded that we lack the expertise to develop a solution, which is why we called upon the aid of one who does possess such expertise, a colleague of ours who is currently en route to Reverend's Toll from Charlian. She should be arriving within the hour, in fact. Since you are here, mayhap we could come together. I am certain she would appreciate the gesture. Let us make our way to the northern gates and await her coming. Oh, baby. I have not seen this dragon yet. It's very good. Oh, he has got a much better face than the others. What manner of woman is she, I wonder? We have spoken before via Link Pearl, of course, but it is not the same.
Minfilia, am I right?
None other. I bid you welcome to Revenant's Toll, and thank you for traveling so far on such short notice.
As if I could ever say no to Urianger.
Moonbreeder is an accomplished Charlian scholar. and an authority on Aetherite technologies. She has played an invaluable role in our search for a means to capture Ascian souls.
Charmed, I'm sure.
For an outpost in ether-rich wasteland, this place is a good deal livelier than I expected. Just goes to show that you never know until you know. Let us return to the Rising Stones at once. We have much to discuss. I also have the wrong minion out. Tifa, you were out here yesterday. It's time for you. Is that Super Maudie on the wall back there? I'm amazed you managed to find all the pieces after, well, you know.
Moon! Gods, it's been ages!
Oh, longer, sister.
A joyous reunion indeed.
Well, of course it is. Moon and I are like twin sisters.
Save in appearance and aptitude.
Everyone, if I could have your attention. We have with us an esteemed guest who has come from Sharlayan to assist us. I bid Moonbreeder join us here that she might share with us her extensive knowledge of Aetherites. Also, as many of you are already aware, she has been overseeing our research into white auracite, a sample of which she has been good enough to bring with her.
Well, I had to come, didn't I? You'd have to be bloody daft to turn your nose up at a chance like this. Where better to conduct my final tests than a land so steeped in ether you can taste it?
'Tis plain the passage of the years hath done little to dampen thy youthful spirits, and nothing at all to reform thy youthful manner.
Oriange, where in the hells have you been hiding?
Unhand me.
I come all this way, and that's what you have to say to me. I much preferred when you were pleading with me to drop everything and hurry to your side. What was it you said? None save thee can satisfy this need.
Go on. Thine artless attempts to misrepresent mine all too innocent motives do thee little credit. Mine intent, as well thou knowest, was but to impress upon thee the gravity of the circumstance. Lest thou doubt, a deiform entity shall shortly be summoned, save if thou and no other grantest my compeers thine aid.
You still haven't found it, then? Your missing Aetherite?
We have not. No. We know that Iceheart teleported to an Aetherite not far from the first. Yet even after careful analysis, we could not locate the second beacon. We now suspect that the heretics destroyed the second aetherite to impede our pursuit. Our allies continue to scour Snowcloak for Iceheart's sanctuary, but we have no guarantee that they will find it. Yet it must be found, for even now Iceheart prepares to call upon Saint Shiva.
I'm sorry, but if the aetherite's been destroyed, then that's that. Although, you're absolutely sure she used the first aetherite, are you? She didn't just use teleportation magics?
One of our own bore witness to her escape. I can say with absolute certainty that Iceheart used the aetherite.
In that case, there might be a way, so long as the ethereal current is still flowing.
Truly? How?
We use the current to recreate the beacon. As you know, aetherites are a bit like lighthouses. We use them to reconstitute our physical forms when crossing the ethereal sea. Without them, we'd lose all sense of direction and our essence would dissipate. However, we don't rely solely on these beacons. There are currents of ether which flow between them, currents which help guide us to our destination. Now, these currents will gradually dwindle away to nothing if an aetherite is destroyed. But if even a sluggish flow remains, we could theoretically use it to direct a surge of concentrated ether towards the void left by the beacon, and thereby fill it up again.
Like opening the floodgates to fill a dry riverbed. Though, correct me if I'm wrong, but would we not need a veritable reservoir of ether?
In concert, we might manage to channel a sufficient volume, yet that is not my chief concern. To direct the flow of so great a volume of ether with the requisite precision would be a nigh impossible task in itself.
I barely succeeded in facilitating travel to an unattuned beacon. That which you describe sounds considerably more difficult.
And dangerous. Every person who has attempted to teleport in this fashion has died in the process. They, however, did not have white aura sight at their disposal. I can use it to channel all the ether you can give me into the aetherite. However, white aura sight cannot retain ether for an extended period of time, so we would need to infuse it immediately beforehand. Just so you know, I'd confidently give this plan better than even odds of success. And if the worst comes to worst, your people won't suffer.
Though it risked the lives of our best and brightest, we have not the time to seek other options. If the ethereal current still flows, we shall carry out Moonbreeder's plan.
That's the spirit. Let's roll the dice.
It's just my life at stake. Don't worry about it. Assholes. A plan has been devised, and Minfilia would have it carried out without further delay. I already informed Elfin of our plan to recreate the beacon in the manner Moonbreeda described. He agreed that despite the inherent danger, it represents our only hope of success. He also said that he wished to meet with you at Snowcloak before proceeding. I expect you will find him waiting there for you when you arrive. I want you to know that I appreciate everything you have done on our behalf, Akali, and that I have faith that you will return to us, as you always have. beak. The heart is the beak. The heart is the beak. Trust in the power of the white aura site, Akali, and in me, of course. Bitch, I just met you. Good to see you, Akali. I am starting to wonder if you were having second thoughts. Captain Ilbert sends his regards, by the way. He attends to the interrogation of Aline Royale and Ulda, even as we speak. But I shall not distract you from the matter at hand. We can discuss the IDV upon your return. I trust that, by which I mean to say... The others are waiting for us at the Aetheryte. After you, Scion. Alphino, help! There, it's ready. Ah! It worked! I think. Try attuning to the Aetherite now. Feel the current and try to locate the beacon. We have done all we can, Akali. For now, let us withdraw. When your final preparations are complete, you must seek out the beacon we have created. If, by the grace of the 12, you arrive safely, you must stop Iceheart before she summons Shiva. No big deal. I have a mind to join you, but Urianger made me promise I wouldn't. Apparently the thought of me becoming Shiva's thrall was too much to bear. Huh, as if I'd give her the chance. We cannot ignore the possibility that our actions have alerted Iceheart to our plans. Should that be the case, she may attempt to hasten the completion of the summoning ritual, and if she succeeds, you will have little choice but to face Shiva in battle. Knowing little of this saint, I cannot say if your own strength will suffice, and so I would encourage you to call upon your allies. Some may have reservations about wagering their lives on the success of Moonbreeda's experiment, but others will surely agree that desperate times call for desperate measures. Before you assemble your party, pray speak with that knight. I believe he has a message from you from Sir Emmerich. Madam, Sir Emmerich regrets that he could not be here in person and asks that you read this letter. Ishgard faces an unprecedented threat, yet in our hour of need, it is not her knights who stand poised to defend her, Akaliana. The warrior of light, savior of Eorzea, your deeds this day shall not be forgotten. Where others would flee, you choose to remain. Where others would falter, you rise to the challenge. Where others would use their gifts for selfish ends, you wield yours in the service to a greater cause. May Helone bless you with good fortune and see you safely home. Emmerich is the only real one. It's very brushed over, but there is a good chance that this could kill me, and they're all just kind of super okay with that. Of all the myriad challenges you have faced, I should be amazed if it were a failed teleportation attempt that finally killed you. Pray do not surprise me. Yeah, they're all just kind of like, you could die, but don't. And I don't care for that. I have been standing here for about 15 seconds, and I'm annoyed. Did you not give me instant queue? I will leave. I probably actually can't do anything else because it will pop fairly soon, I think. Yeah, there we go. It's like a whole minute. A whole minute.
You should never have come here, warrior of light. I labor only to forge a lasting peace. A peace you would deny us out of ignorance and blind faith. No matter. If it is our fate to be at odds, then it is mine to strike you down. We whom gods and men have forsaken shall be the instruments of our own deliverance. Partake of my flesh. Fill this vessel with your light. Walk amongst your brothers and sisters once more. Oh, Saint Shiva, still the hatred within our hearts and bless us with eternal grace.
She is very cool. I knew you would simp for Shiva. We all do. Oh. Someone got cleaved by the tank buster. I'm about to get cleaved by a tank buster, actually. Oh, fuck. The transition for the music is so good. She freezes all of you, and then she uses her crazy ice heels and steps on somebody to shatter the ice, and then the soundtrack just pops off, and it's so good. Yeah, she do. She do the steppy. There you go.
Fool. Blind, bloody fool. You, of all people, should understand the suffering war begets. That no sacrifice is too great if it brings an end to the violence. Mine is the righteous cause. You fight in a war you do not understand. A pawn of liars and schemers. And they are no less ignorant than you, following the creed of their fathers without question, never thinking to ask why. Trapped in a delusion of their own creation, and blind to the truth. Warrior of light, redemption is not beyond us. We who walk before may lead those who walk after. Seek the keeper of the lake. See with eyes unclouded. Do not squander Mother's gift. Hear, feel, think.
If you are enjoying the A Realm Re story right now, then it's going to pop off eventually, and it's good. It's always important. This is what I always tell people. This man's about to talk, but...
And so the vessel withdraws, a predictable outcome. Nevertheless, La Habrea will be pleased. How unfortunate.
Nobody likes La Habrea. How unfortunate. La Habrea will feel joy. It is a Final Fantasy game before it is anything else, so it will always value its storytelling. As an MMO, I find it on the weaker side. But it is a Final Fantasy game before all else, and it is probably one of the best Final Fantasy stories I've ever played through. Shadowbringers is fucking amazing. By the 12, you're alive. I mean, of course you're alive. Why wouldn't you be? Shadowbringers is just so fucking good. I am so sad I will never get to experience Shadowbringers for the first time again. Iceheart did what? And you're certain about that, are you? Dravanians are skilled with glamours, after all. Look, if you say what you saw, I believe you. It's just that I've never heard of a primal being summoned like that before. Are you sure you're not injured? Head trauma has been known to cause hallucinations, you see. No? Well, fair enough. I was only asking. Moonbraider remains unconvinced that you have not sustained a head injury. If you ask me, there's naught to be gained from mulling over the implications of your story in the freezing cold. Let us save it for the rising stones, eh? I'll get everyone to meet us there. But before that, you had best pay a visit to Whitebrim Front and speak with Alphino. He's probably worried sick about you. That or he's busy playing politics with the Ishgardians. Either way, I'm sure he'll be delighted to see you hale and healthy. Speaking of which, you don't have a headache or anything, do you? No? Blurred vision? Oh, no reason. See you soon. I understand that she's a fan favorite and that people love her very, very much. I cannot stand Moonbreed. I do not care for her. People love Moonbrita. They are cuckoo for Moonbrita. And she is very pretty. I'll give you that. I just don't care for her. I know. I'm stuck. Emmerich! You're right, it is impin time. Hello, sir. Are you proud of me? Look at me. Are you proud of me? Please, sir, look at me. There you stand. That you stand here now is proof of your mission's success. Praise be to Halone. It is customary to report to one's commanding officer after completing a mission. Alphino is not my commanding officer. Let's get that crystal clear. I still remember the first time you entered these chambers. Suffice to say, I never imagined that I would one day be glad for your return. Welcome, my friend. Welcome. Is there anyone else I can talk to before I talk to Alphino? What do you got to say, Benedict? I heard about Snowcloak when you faced there. I mean, I'm glad you're on our side, Scion. There she is, and none worse for the wear. Was there ever any doubt that the Warrior of Light would succeed? I think I speak for all of us when I say that I should like nothing more than to hear your stirring tale of your victory, if you would be so kind. Then we were too late to prevent the summoning. But not too late to prevent further loss of life, an outcome worthy of celebration. And one for which we have Akali to thank. Yes, you are right, of course, Sir Emmerich. We should be content with what we have accomplished. I, for one, could not have wished for a better outcome. Shiva is no longer a threat, and the heretics have been routed. There is the matter of Iceheart's escape, but she cannot run forever. Whether it takes days, weeks, moons, or even years, my knights will find her. In the meantime, Lord Drillamon, is the caravan ready? The supplies that your men have recovered have been prepared for transport, in accordance with your wishes. Rest assured that my knights will see them safely to Reverend's Toll. Of that I have no doubt. I take it these are the selfsame supplies the heretics stole from House Fortom's caravan? Less the crystals which comprise the bulk of the shipment, yes. Scarcely a fraction of what was promised, but a meaningful contribution to your cause all the same. Oh, on an unrelated note, Akali, might I trouble you to accompany me to Camp Dragonhead at your earliest convenience? 'Tis not for my benefit. A certain lord was most distressed when he learned of your intent to risk life and limb to stop Iceheart. It took half a dozen knights to restrain him, I am told. Speaking of imps... Men give vent to their anxieties in myriad ways. Pray do not think less of him. Heard you went a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs over here, Orshfont. You weren't happy that I was sent to die? Me either. If our business here is concluded, we should attend to Sir Emmerich in the incendiary. It's fine. What were you thinking, Akali? Waging your very being on a dubious theory which might allow you to enter Iceheart's lair, knowing full well that she could have sufficient forewarning to complete her ritual to summon Shiva anyway? And then engaging the abomination in mortal combat? By the fury, Akali! 'Tis the stuff of ballads, a battle for the ages. What would I have been there to fight by your side? Yet here I was forced to wait, condemned to wonder at the fate of a dear friend for a veritable eternity. I would not wish such torture on my most hated enemy. But you are here now, and that is what truly matters. Let us move on. Sir Emmerich wished to have words with you and Master Alphino in private. He awaits us in the intercessory. Arshafon is a good boy, and I've been saying this from the beginning. No man sims harder than this man. Pray go on ahead without me, Akali. Another matter requires my attention, but I shall join you anon. Greetings, madam. I shall show you in at once.
On behalf of the Holy See of Ishgard, allow me to express my deepest thanks.
His deepest thanks.
Never before have we been required to contend with a primal. Indeed, there were fears in some quarters that our knights might not be equal to the task. From what we have now learned of these beings, I can say with certainty that we would have lost a great many men had the Scions not intervened.
Then the argument for preemptive action should be self-evident. Perchance now you will reconsider my proposal that Ishgard move against Nautalon.
Ere we first met, a similar proposal was tabled, but the Holy See decreed that we were to observe, and that military action should be taken only in self-defense. All things considered, it was not an unreasonable decision. Since the calamity, 2 vigils have fallen to the Horde, while Garuda has never shown any inclination to storm the gates of judgment. Which is why this unprecedented crisis and its resolution may prompt a change in policy. You who have faced these primals know well the threat they pose. Ishgard did not. Not until now. And there is naught like a brush with death to change a man's outlook.
At the very least, this should silence any lingering objections to our arrangement with Revenant's Toll. The Holy See may even feel moved to grant us its formal endorsement.
So far as it is possible, the Scions shall be compensated for their service.
We should be grateful for any aid you can provide.
As a gesture of good faith, I shall withdraw my previous request. Your people are doubtless needed elsewhere.
That will not be necessary. We too have a vested interest in watching Dravania's movements.
I see. Once more, I must thank you.
Sir Emmerich, if I may, do you truly believe that Midgard-Zoma could return?
The heavens are a window unto truth, but those who interpret their movements are not infallible. I requested your involvement as a precautionary measure.
But of course, you sought an excuse to compensate us from the first, mindful of what would happen if Revenant's Toll were taken by your enemies. Ishgard is not wont to aid its neighbors, but that does not preclude it from manipulating them to serve its own interests.
Choose your next words carefully.
Do you know what sort of man becomes Lord Commander of the Temple Knights? One who comes from good stock. I did not. Yet here I am now. Why do you suppose that is? Because I swiftly learnt to tell the difference between words, deeds, and beliefs. You are correct, Master Leveilleur. Ishgard desires to see Revenant's toll flourish, as it would present a troublesome obstacle to our enemies from the south.
We are so glad to be of use to you.
As we are to you. Ours is a mutually beneficial arrangement, lest we forget, one born of necessity. The dragons grow more restless by the day, and the heretics harry us nigh without cease.
I love Isosceles' ears. I love them.
We have contended with such troubles for centuries, but there are limits to even our endurance. Yet as a pauper is loath to part with his meager possessions, the leaders of Ishgard are not wont to render up their trust to outsiders. But with perseverance on our part, they may yet be made to see the light. Nevertheless, one must take care when walking the road less traveled.
Wise words, Sir Emmerich. I shall make a point to remember them. I must apologize for my earlier outburst. I hope it will not sour our good relations.
Not at all. You but spoke from the heart. I trust you understand that at times my duties may prevent me from meeting with you. On such occasions, my second-in-command will speak for me.
Lucia, at your service. Pray excuse our reticence. We are but wary of speaking too freely, lest our sentiments be made known to our enemies. Know that the Lord Commander and I are of one mind. For the sake of Ishgard, and of Eorzea at large, I pray our peoples can put aside their differences. Those who dwell in the past risk losing sight of their future.
Should aught befall one of our shipments, pray inform Lucia immediately. You may also relay to her any words you might have for me alone. Not being of Ishgardian birth, she owes no allegiance to any noble house, making her as near to incorruptible as one can find in my homeland. Suffice it to say, I trust her completely, and so may you. Which reminds me, Lord Orchefort, if you would be so kind.
Certainly.
In times such as these, trust is ever in short supply. Mayhap this will go some way to rectify the problem. The results of our investigation into the heretics' recent attacks, as well as our interrogation of the merchant you detained.
Sir Emmerich, I cannot thank you enough.
Think nothing of it. Ishgard may be many things, but it is no friend to Garlemald.
Did I not tell you to have faith, my friend?
For one with reason to celebrate, Alphino looks rather grim. It would seem we have much to discuss with our friends at the Rising Stones. If what you say is true, Iceheart's method of summoning Jiva defies all precedent and necessitates a complete reappraisal of the primal threat and of our approach to combating it. Moreover, there are grave ramifications if word of this incident reaches Imperial ears. The Garlean Empire believes that the primals are an insufferable menace, that their mere existence is a threat to this very star. As such, they may deem any action taken against the beast tribes to be justified by default. Imagine then if it became known that it was not only the beast tribes of Eorzea that could summon primals, but our civilized people as well. Any lingering objections to the Eorzean campaign would vanish overnight. Where before we had contended with a single Imperial Legion, we could well find ourselves facing the combined might of all Garlemald. But I speak unadvisedly. Come, Macaulay, it is better we continue this conversation in Mordona. This is actually a topic that I do not believe gets covered, but the Imperial, let me see if I can pull up a map as I slowly fly. Oh, we don't get the full map, huh? So, between the Far East and Eorzea, and right in the middle of the map is Garlemald. And Garlemald was a very poor country many, many years ago. And it began a conquest under one of its legatuses, Solus. And as they were conquering, they came across a place known as the Burn, that was a land of nothing but white sand, where everything from the trees were gone, the people were gone. It was just this crazy barren wasteland. The sand was white, by the way, like drained of all color. On a rock that they found, that the Garleans found, told of what had come here, that the people there had summoned a primal, and that primal went uncontrolled and drained the very life from that spot. So nothing will ever grow there ever again. The Garleans were like, what the fuck? And they made it their mission as they began conquering to see that this sort of thing never happened again. The Garleans are imperialists, which means they go from place to place, recruiting other people, kind of like how Rome did it, where they conquer and they conquer and they conquer. And if you serve Garlemald, you become a citizen, and if you don't, they'll kill you. Or well, you don't have to stay here. You don't have to join us, but you can't stay here, sort of thing. So Alamigo is under Garlean rule, and Alamigans serve Garlemald for those that didn't run away, and it's the same all over the place. If they found out that other people were like actual people that they are trying to bring into the Garlemald society were summoning primals, they would absolutely destroy Eorzea. And that has sort of been, there is a debate if the Garleans should just destroy Eorzea or if it should be conquered. And people like Gaius and Varys want to conquer Eorzea, where people like Nail and Solus wanted to destroy it. Solus was very tired and old, and I don't think he cared anymore. He's like, drop the moon. Drop it. But Varys, who is the new Garlean leader, as discovered yesterday, wants to bring Eorzea into the Garlemald fold under his rule. He's very, very adamant about this. Let's talk to people. I do not fault Sir Emmerich for being less than forthcoming with his beliefs. Not even the Highborn are beyond the reach of the Inquisition. I know all about Garlean history. I am very, very wise, because I think it's very, very fascinating. True young leaders can be more amenable to new ideas. Then again, their lack of experience and influence can hinder their ability to enact reforms. There's actually a point that wasn't talked about either. There's a little less fortune and far less fame in being a receptionist, but one must be realistic. Also, it would seem I was grossly misinformed regarding the average earnings of a street performer. When they talked about the War of Succession yesterday, there was something very interesting that was said, that was vaguely talked over, and I'm very much hoping that it becomes a point of discussion in Endwalker, because in Endwalker we do go to Garlemald at long last. But they spoke of the War of Succession was between the grandson, Varys, and his uncle, which would be Solus Zolsgalvis's second-born son. But they really didn't address that. They said that the firstborn son had died at a very young age, which he did. And then the second son was not allowed to do military stuff or anything like that. So that's why he didn't have any military. Despite being second prince, he didn't have any military sway, which is why Varys eventually won the War of Succession. But they never said that the second son was killed, or only that he had been ousted by his... only that he had been ousted. So, in theory, the actual prince, the second prince of Garlemald, might be out there somewhere. It's never discussed again, and we have not talked about it at length, but they have specifically said he was ousted and not dead. And I So very much want him. It's you. I very much want to make him to make an appearance. I have a big brain theory, but I can't talk about it. I can't talk about it until we get there. But I have big brain theories. I am so hopeful. I have like putting if I was gambling, I'd bet it all because I'm so hopeful. I can't. It's Big Shadow bringing spoilies. Ah, forgive me, Akali. I had thought I had prepared enough meals for everyone, but the others were most hungry. You let them eat my dinner? I just fought Shiva. I hate this family. What you two do is your own business. Don't say I didn't warn you. Trying to tumble the table now, are we? Don't give up yet, boy. Ida, line them up. Yeah, Thancred? Ass up. Calm yourself, Colline. It's just a ship after practice. Clearing out the cobwebs no end. A sip before practice, a sip after practice, and all too soon often a sip during practice. I do believe Moon Brita is having quite a bad influence on you. This woman is trouble. His name is Hoary Boulder. Lore compliant Rogan in name.
Words cannot well express how glad I am to see you return to us hale and whole. Needless to say, I am most eager to hear your account of that which occurred in Kurthis, assuming you're ready to speak of it. Excellent. I shall summon the others at once.
They're very drunk, Minfilia. We should probably wait.
Iceheart used her own body as a vessel for a primal soul?
Master Louisoir's writings make no mention of such a possibility. Can we be certain this entity was a primal?
As certain as we can be that good King Mogglmog the 12th was a primal, I should think. Both were ostensibly summoned.
Let's not quibble over definitions. Of more concern is the implication that Iceheart retained her will, even after she was possessed. We are talking about a mortal, wielding the power of a primal.
It can't possibly be that easy, can it? There must be some sort of sacrifice required. Or maybe she's just special?
What qualities this woman possesseth, I know not. But full sure am I that she was groomed for this role. Few are privy to the secrets of summoning, and but a single party standeth to profit from their dissemination.
Well, I wouldn't presume to comment on how the lass came to know about summoning, but I will say that what she summoned was a primal. The readings were the same, or near as damn it. Strange as it all sounds, it's really no different from what you've faced before.
Then mayhap it is time that we re-examined our previous encounters.
Pack your things, Ida. We're going back to Gridania.
Yes, sir.
About Iceheart's final words to you. Hear, feel, think. Hydaelyn speaks to her as well. If Iceheart is blessed with the power of the Echo, she will doubtless have used it to further her goals. Or could it be that it was a revelation granted her by the Echo which first set her on this path? She did say that the Ishgardians were blind to the truth. Do you think she has knowledge of the origins of the Ishgardian-Dravanian War? It would do much to explain her unwavering conviction.
Did not the Lady Iceheart implore thee to seek the Keeper of the Lake? And did she not imply that in so doing thou wouldst come to see with eyes unclouded?
Midgard Zoma was a king amongst kings who reigned for centuries on end. But he is dead and his wisdom lost to the ages. Unless the Ishgardians' fears are well founded. It would seem we have yet another reason to stand watch over the Keeper of the Lake. For a mercy, we are well positioned to do so. Iceheart, Shiva, Ascians, and Midgard Zoma. I shudder to think how they're all connected.
Minfield would discuss how best to proceed in light of recent developments. I mean to scour the annals for knowledge of Midgard Somer. Given his great age, I dare say he appears in more than a few. Huh? Did you hear that? A commotion outside. Would you see if aught is amiss? Just need to get rid of this food at this point. Excuse me. Do we have new conversations? No. Akali, 'tis well that you are on hand. We have a problem. Royale has escaped. It happened shortly after the Immortal Flames took her into custody. She had been placed in a dungeon cell ahead of her coming trial, but apparently the accommodation was not to her liking. The turnkey was found slain along with 2 guards. 'Tis plain she received inside help. Citizens report seeing Royal quitting the city via the Gate of Nald with a bloodied spear in her hand. She makes for Castor Meridium, I am certain of it. With her fate in Eorzea as good as sealed, what recourse does she have but to flee with her to her imperial masters? Even as we speak, Captain Ilbert and the First are hot upon Royal's heels. Pray make haste to Camp Bluefog and join the hunt. There is also a lot of talk of Midgard Somer, which he was mentioned quite briefly at the beginning of the game, but we have not really gone over it too much since. And Midgard Somer was a great worm, and the father of all dragons, who made a deal with Hydaelyn to help protect Eorzea. The Garleans, 20 years ago, did an invasion with a giant and magnificent airship called the Aegeus. Midgard Somer, with his flight of dragons, wrapped his great body around the Aegeus and dropped it into Silver Tear Lake, where he also perished among with the ship and many, many Garleans, thus ending the conquest of Eorzea at that time. And here he is. This is what the Ishgardians want us to watch over, because they fear that this great dragon, despite being very dead, may one day wake up. Let's see if I can get a better look at him. There he is. They are worried that this big boy will wake up. And for now, we will simply keep an eye on him, in case he does. Oh boy. Youth evil noodle? Maybe so. He did stop the Garlean invasion. Thanks for coming, Scion. I have spoken with the soldiers here. They say that Rael walked through the camp not a bellico. Aye, she walked right through. You did not mishear. We have Raban's decision to keep the matter secret to thank for that. Bad for morale, he said. As a result, not a single flame in the garrison made any attempt to detain her, and so here we are. Royale must not be allowed to reach Castor Meridium. He just wants cake so bad. Damn, she got close if she's all the way over here. This wretch was with Royale. He threw himself at us, and that his mistress might escape. She didn't blink when we cut him down. Not even when he started screaming. No loyalty even to her own. The goddamn harpy. With me, Scion, we almost have her. Do you not enjoy holy in your eyes constantly? I'll get real up and close. Ooh. Oh, it hurts so bad. That actually hurts my eyes. It really does, but it's so pretty. Do you two mind? And nobody died. I think Samurai has a lot of really flashy, bright moves in my eyeballs too, if I remember. Uh-oh. Bind her and do it tight. Yes, sir. Good work, Ben. She and her imperial cronies pushed us close, but we were better. Behold, a respected officer of the Immortal Flames. People looked up to you as one of the Order's founding members, one of its pillars. It saddens me to see you fallen so low. What would you know of low? You, a spoiled little lordling who has never known any want. People such as you take wealth and birth for granted. You think it your God's-given right to rule over others. You know not of our plight, the injustice that we low-born Ishgardians must endure. To the noble lords and ladies, we are not people, but resources to be consumed. I did what I had to survive, stealing, killing, even whoring myself. It is no fault of mine if fools imagined me a paragon when I joined the Flames. To hear you tell it, one would think you're the only person to ever have suffered. In case you've forgotten, Roban himself was born into poverty, as was I. We lived hand to mouth, with little more than the shirts on our backs. Hunger was our constant companion. Yet never did we bemoan our lot in life, nor did we begrudge others their fortunes. We accepted the hand that we had been dealt, and played into it to the best of our ability. Life was a battle, aye, but no matter what fate threw at us, we took it on the chin and came back for more. Everything we have, we fought for. How are we any different then? 'Tis true that we are both mercenaries of lowly birth, and 'tis true that we both had our fair share of struggles. But whereas I sold my sword, you, Marshal, you sold your comrades. If life has taught me one thing, it is that you never betray your own. I would sooner cut off my own arm than raise a hand against a friend. But enough talk. You will return to Ul'dah to face justice and the people whose trust you have dragged through the gutter. I joined the Crystal Braves that I might strike a blow against the Empire. Those who cast their lot with Garlemald should expect no better treatment. Not so much as a hint of remorse. 'Tis well that this sword business is finally at an end. A friend's betrayal cuts deeper than steel. We must hope that we have chosen our own allies more wisely than Roban chose his.
I have heard. Truly bothersome business. No, I do not foresee a problem on that front. The main concern is Roban. There is no telling what the brute might do. Have the Blades watch him in the flames day and night. You may leave the Sultana to me. I shall personally attend her grace. Sever one of the East Aldenard trade routes. That ought to keep Lolorito occupied for a while. Nanamo Ulnamo. For my sake, pray be a good little Sultana to the last.
Elfino would ask another favor of you. Captain Ilbert and I have a few questions for the Flame Marshal regarding the circumstances of her miraculous escape. When we have completed our interrogation, we ask you take our findings directly to General Roban, and that shall be the end of it. Your work here is done, my friend. Thanks. But I have one last task for you. Return to the Rising Stones and apprise Minfilia of all that has happened. I am aware that the antecedent held Royal in high regard. For better or worse, she will want to know how this tale ends. I would like a new stick, please. Please don't have a creepy face. Oh, I actually think this stick is badass. Most excellent. No faces. I've really screwed up. I would like to go. I have ruined my map for all time. trying to talk about Eorzean history. You okay there, girl? Just staring at the wall. I'm sure Teleji Adeleji is not planning any crimes. I'm sure he's not about to do something truly horrendous. Surely not.
Welcome back, my friend. I have already received word from Alphino. To think that Flame Marshal Huayu was the Garlean agent. I know not what to say. Together with Robon, Eline lent us much-needed aid at the time of our Order's founding. She was particularly passionate about the need to tackle the primal threat. When we discussed the subject, her eyes fairly shone with determination. Whatever else she may have been, I choose to believe that it was her true self with whom I spoke then. But now is not the time to dwell on such matters. I have an important announcement to make regarding our effort to defeat the Ascians. We shall begin as soon as everyone is assembled. My thanks for coming, friends. Moonbreeder, the floor is yours.
By now, I'm sure you're all familiar with white auracite, the miraculous material that'll allow us to capture Ascian souls. Back at Snowcloak, we verified its ability to absorb vast amounts of ether. Alas, it leaves something to be desired in the area of stability. The stone can only store ether for a short while before expelling its contents.
In addition to auracite's inherent limitations, we must needs be wary of our enemy's strength. Our foe draweth upon an infinite wellspring of power. Even should we succeed in entrapping him, the stone will not long contain his wrath.
Meaning that, if we want to kill the swine, we'll have to be quick about it.
'Tis our belief that an Ascian soul may be permanently undone, if smitten by a sufficiently concentrated burst of pure ether.
The only trouble is, we can't say for sure how concentrated the burst needs to be. Without knowing how much ether an Ascian soul is composed of, we're basically guessing.
Koji, please.
Our sole clue lieth in thy struggle with La Hebrea.
During that encounter, Heidelin bid you forge what she called a Blade of Light, a weapon which took the form of a luminous stream of energy. Based on your description, we believe the blade with which you vanquished your foe was composed of ether. Admittedly, your victory proved ephemeral, as La Hebrea was able to use a crystal of darkness to flee into the space that lies between our world and the void. The fact remains, however, that Heidelin placed the means to destroy the Ascians in your hands. Be that as it may, it would be unwise to assume that she will do the same when we next encounter such a foe.
Quite so, my lady. We must needs find the means to forge our own blade of ether, one to equal that which Heidelin did benevolently bestow upon her champion.
That is all well and good, but it seems to me that producing such a blade will require a prodigious quantity of ether. Whence will it come, pray tell?
Oh, what if we had two pieces of white auracite? One to trap the Ascian, and the other to store the ether for the blade.
Oh, nice try. But it's as I said, the stone won't hold ether for any length of time. We'd still need to collect the stuff there and then, sorry to say.
And therein lies the rub. Finding a way to create the blade whenever and wherever we choose.
'Twould seem more research is in order.
I'm going to linger a while, perform a few more tests on the auracite. And I could do with some help. Urianger, why don't you lend me a hand?
Mine apologies, but I am required at the Waking Sands. Lady Minfilia hath given me sole charge of the premises. 'Twould be unseemly to leave them unattended.
Sole charge, you say? So you're basically alone there, then? Well, that settles it. I'll just have to come to you.
While you were afield, word arrived from the Sharlayan motherland. You will recall that a survey party was dispatched to investigate the incident at the Isle of Val. What they discovered was troubling, to say the least. According to the report, the Isle has been erased from existence. 'Twas as if a hole had been torn in the very fabric of reality.
Aye, yet the mystery endeth not with the Isle's disappearance. It hath come to light that a number of scholars in various other locales were reported missing at a similar juncture.
What's more, they all had something in common with the head of the students of Baldessian. Every last one of them was researching a phenomenon called dimensional compression, or the rejoining as the ancient texts call it. I'll be damned if that's a coincidence.
All indications suggest Ascian involvement, but I sense that a force greater still is at work. The entity the Dark Beings call the One True God. We must pray that my dear friend Kryl regains consciousness soon. If she bore witness to the Isle of Val's final moments, she may be able to shed some light on this mystery.
Following the calamity, the forces of the 14th Imperial Legion entrenched themselves in strategic locations across Eorzea. So swiftly did they accomplish this, it was suspected that they had received help. To think that it came from Huayu, my right hand.
There is more. We have reason to believe that Huayu didn't deal exclusively with the 14th. She also answered to a higher authority in Garlemald. But this higher authority could not have been the Emperor. By consenting to the Media Project, Solus Zos Galvus showed himself to be more concerned about preventing the spread of primal influence than claiming Eorzea for the Empire. He would happily have seen the lot reduced to ash. We believe a number of high-ranking figures within the royal household were against the decision, but that they knew better than to oppose the Emperor openly. Of course, this didn't prevent them from making clandestine provisions, in which Huayu played a part.
Alas, these provisions did not prevent Dalamud from falling, and the ensuing chaos changed the face of the realm forever. Yet Eorzea survived. To all intents and purposes, the Meteor Project had failed, and the Empire was left to rue its lack of a decisive means to eliminate the primals. Until, that is, it stumbled upon the Ultima weapon.
Even before the accursed thing was dug up, it seemed to me the 14th had the might to overwhelm our weakened armies. Yet they chose to hide behind their walls. Why?
The Black Wolf was wary of making the denizens of Eorzea desperate, lest more primals emerge to bleed the land. The discovery of the Ultima weapon, however, emboldened him to resume his war of conquest in earnest.
But there was one in Garlemald who believed that Van Belsar's actions were premature. One who stood higher in the Imperial Army's chain of command. He ordered the Legatus to halt his advance, only to find that the Black Wolf had slipped its leash, and that the 14th now acted alone. In a bid to bring Van Belsar to heel, he used the agent he had planted in Ul'dah prior to the calamity to undermine the Legion's efforts.
A man who outranks Van Belsar, yet opposed the late Emperor's decision to annihilate Eorzea. This could only be the former High Legatus of the Garlean army, now known as Emperor Vorissos Galvus. So he was Huayu's true master.
but one of several in actual fact. We've learned that even as Huayu served the Empire's interests, she sold Imperial secrets to a certain faction in Eorzea. In so doing, she helped to maintain the status quo, thus prolonging the conflict. Considering who stands to profit from war, it isn't hard to imagine who her other masters were.
Seven hells! You mean to say that she was a double agent?
Triple, if you consider her services to Van Belsar and the new Emperor as separate.
As neatly as these pieces seem to fit, one aspect of the puzzle remains unclear to me. By whose will was the Marshal feeding intelligence to the heretics? And try as I might, I fail to see how aiding their cause would profit either her Imperial or Monetarist masters. Could it be that another hand is at work here? If so, Huayu must be made to reveal whose it is.
Not only have I lost a trusted friend, now I must interrogate her as a stranger.
Not a pleasant task, I grant you, but a necessary one. Unless we weed out the ivy, root, stalk, and stem, it will simply grow back.
I know that full well. Those closest to Huayu have already been detained, and I will question them alongside her.
General, pray keep in mind that there may be unwitting abettors among them.
All will be treated fairly. On that you have my word. Those who are innocent have no cause to fear.
You have ever been a friend of truth, General. I hope the unpleasant task of weeding out falsehood will not detain you too long. Though it be for the sake of Eorzea, doubting one's comrades is poison to the soul. And with that, I take my leave.
All these years, I've been made to dance to their tune. How could you, Huayu? How could you side with them? Those cankers who take from this land and give naught in return, who use their power to disempower and grow fat while the people starve. I know you can hear me, monetarist scum! Your crimes will not go unpunished! Today I will purge this land of your sickness! Before the eyes of the 12, I swear it!
I shall have no further need of you this day. Your Grace. I fear that not even mine own chambers shall remain private for long.
Has the situation grown so grim?
Ever since he proposed the Cartiner Reclamation Bill, Teleji Adeleji has risen to greater prominence upon the backs of impoverished refugees. The monetarists were ever united in their pursuit of profit, but the man's actions have torn a rift in their ranks. They snap at each other as rabid dogs. Yet now is not the time to be bickering among ourselves.
If this bickering is a threat to law and order, might you not have grounds to dissolve the Syndicate?
Would that the solution were so simple, Admiral. Alas, my moving to dissolve the Syndicate is certain to spark outrage among the influential merchant class, whom the Cabal represents. This would serve to exacerbate the current unrest, and peace would slip still further away. Be they rich or poor, natives or refugees, all who reside in Ul'dah have a right to pursue happiness. It is the duty of a ruler to protect this right. If I am to perform my duty, I must needs tread warily. It would not do to make enemies heedlessly. Were Lord Lolorito here, he would doubtless say that I have my head in the clouds.
A ruler is required to take a wide view. Try as we might to cater to all needs, some will inevitably be overlooked. As such, there shall ever be citizens who feel aggrieved. It cannot be helped. But as you have informed us, the monetarists take no view but their own. They hunger for power while the masses starve. In the absence of a common cause, it seems beyond any one individual to make Uldar whole.
And the presence of a Garlean agent within the Immortal Flames only makes matters worse. Even accounting for Uldar's historic reliance upon mercenaries, such a grievous breach of security is unprecedented. I fear this business will provide the monetarists with a rod to beat Rauban.
Eorzea can ill afford for the Immortal Flames to be dampened now. Ere long, the Garleans will turn their ravenous gaze toward our lands once more. If we are to resist their might, our nations must stand together. Yet for this to happen, our nations must be whole. Cannot be done to improve the situation in Uldar.
The true wealth of Uldar lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her citizens. Alas, the citizens shall never know these things, so long as their lives are ruled by the ambitions of the few. The monetarists claim to represent the best interests of the people, but in sooth they desire only to manipulate them for their own selfish ends. For the government to serve the people, it must be formed of the people. For Uldar to move forward, it is not only the Syndicate that must be dissolved.
Nay, you jest.
My friends, it was for no other reason than to make known to you mine intent that I requested your presence here. When I make my declaration to the people, chaos shall inevitably ensue. As the last monarch in the line of Ul, I make unto you this request. Help Rauban to preserve order and protect the people. Forsake them, and you forsake yourselves. For a strong Eorzea will ever have need of a strong Uldar.
Your Grace, are you certain of this?
There is no other way. When the time is ripe, the nation shall become a true republic. Both royalists and monetarists shall cease to be. Uldar will no longer belong to kings or queens or merchant princes, but to her people. Rauban, forgive me for casting aside all that you have toiled for in my name. Beyond this gesture, I am powerless to help my subjects.
And that is the end of 2.4. So we will be back probably next week. For that, I have to go to the Rising Stones. But before we get into that, actually, we need to watch something, and hopefully it is important to what we are about to do. I do need to turn the music down, or I will get in trouble with Sony. It is hard to argue with a missile dragon. I can probably turn my sound back up. Where was it? There it goes. This is less important. But as has been discussed before in the Coils, but we will really get into it, so it was important to sort of remember what happened. Louis Sois, who was the elderly gentleman and the grandfather of Alice and Elfino, summoned the 12 gods of Eorzea to defeat Bahamut. But as you saw, that failed. that did not work out so good. And his staff was destroyed, and the gods were banished by Bahamut himself. Then the last thing anyone remembers is Louis Sois. And so the last thing anyone remembers from that moment was everyone believing that they were about to die as Bahamut drops his meteor on everyone. And then everyone wakes up, and the original Warriors of Light, which is these fine fellows, were gone. And Louis Sois was gone. And no one can remember these people, these heroes. If you played the game at 1.0, this was you, and Louis Sois teleported you 5 years into the future. But no one really remembers you or anything like that. If you are not one of those original Warriors of Light, they're dead. So, but nobody knows what happens to Louis Sois, except we know that he is there in the Coils as of right now, trying to resummon Bahamut, because he has been, as it appears, tempered by the dragon Bahamut. But how did he stop everything, and how did Bahamut get destroyed to begin with, is something that we are all about to figure out. But it was important to go over that, so it all makes sense. No, don't do that. And now, we will go see that. The conclusion of the Coils. We will probably run over, because the last 4 Coils are quite long. But that is okay. And then, things will never be this complicated again once we get the Coils taken care of. Thank you, Minophilia. Where do I go? Oh, Horizon, I said. Oh, fuck. Okay. Urianger would speak with you regarding your mission to prevent Bahamut's return. Man is wont to cast light wheresoever secrets lie hidden in darkness, though that which he illumineth seldom bringeth him joy. So it is with such unhappy truths as Bahamut's immense shadow doth conceal. Yet ever onward forgoeth Mistress Alice, undeterred by the burden of knowledge that weigheth heavy on her heart. 'Tis a perilous path that she hath chosen, and a painful one. I prithee, Akali, remain by her side as her vigilant blade, that she might see her quest to its conclusion. Akali, it is all well that you are here. My lady, how might I serve you this day? I have met with some difficulty in my mission, Urianger, and I should be grateful for your counsel. As you know, Bahamut's physical form is regenerating beneath Cartano Flats even as we speak. If we are to prevent his return, we must needs disable the 2 remaining intermediate hulks that sustain him. Every moment our mission is delayed, the realm is pushed closer to the brink of destruction. Alas, though I have determined the locations for the fragments of Dalamud leading to the hulks, I believe I have been unable to find a way to enter them. And gathering admittance is but the first step of your perilous undertaking. When last thou descended into Bahamut's subterranean fastness, thou didst discover, didst thou not, that the dead primal had bound the shade of Nael Van Darnus unto his will. And though thou didst consign the fallen legatus to blessed oblivion, thou mayest recall that the pietous wretch was not alone. Doubt not but that Bahamut's other thralls shall seek to hinder thy passage. You can say his name, Urianger. I have not forgotten that my grandfather is waiting for us. My lady, I would remind you, as I must oft remind myself, that the man whom we both loved and revered is no more. What remaineth is the shade which defileth his memory. The vile verbiage that spilleth from his lips must not be heeded, for it cometh from your grandsire, but from Bahamut himself. You need not worry, Urianger. Come what may, I will not stray from the course. I will not let grandfather's sacrifice be in vain. But mere words will not take us whether we must go. As I said, I have been unable to find a way into the fragments of Dalamud. My lady, might I suggest that you visit the fragments akin to Akali's company? Full oft hath the warrior of light set events in motion by virtue of her presence alone. 'Tis possible she may do so again. I, the while, shall search for answers of mine own, but our efforts combined, full sure am I that the path shall be revealed to us ere long. Were it anyone else, I would question the wisdom of such advice, yet I cannot deny that what you say about Akali is true. Very well, I shall do as you suggest. Assuming you have no objections, of course? Good. Now we seek entry to the 2 fragments of Dalamud. One lies at the Burning Wall in eastern Thanalan, and the other at the Singing Shards in Mordona. I left an assistant at each location with instructions to continue searching for a means of ingress. It is not impossible that they could have found something useful to us. Let us begin by visiting my man at the Burning Wall. Dex, I think it was. Burning Wall. Please let my map be fixed. Most excellent. A chocobo butt right in thy face. Oh, it's so foggy. Well, they'll clear up in an hour, maybe. Or 2 hours. Or 2 Eorzean hours. Oh, I have server time on. Well, that's disgusting. Why did that happen? How do I fix that? Okay. Always switches. Anyway, weather's not changing anytime soon. Nobody uses server time. Who would do such a thing? I say, are you not Mistress Yana, my lady's most faithful companion? Sinis, madame, at your service, and may I say what an honor it is to meet you. How goes the survey, Dex? Ahem, my lady. It shames me to say that I have found no viable path to the fragment. Though it stands there, before our very eyes, the way thither has thus far been proven impassable. When the fragment fell and pierced the land, it caused a prodigious amount of aether to spew forth. 'Twas that gave rise to this land's twisted lay, which seems destined to thwart our efforts. Even were an opening to exist, I fear we would struggle to reach it. We cannot give up. Keep trying. So near and yet so far. Well, it avails us not to stand here and stare at the thing. Let us away to Mordona and try the other fragment. Perhaps Sinis has fared better. Upon that note, my lady, there is something I must tell you. I'm sorry to report that I lost contact with my brother just over a bell ago. As you know, the singing shards are home to many fell creatures, ogres among them. While I do not wish to cause you undue alarm, I fear that something unspeakable may have happened to Dex. What? Why didn't... Give me strength. We must hurry to my assistant's aid, Acully. Where am I going? Oh, that's in Mordona, right? Oh, my map is still very, very hacked up. I'm sorry. I wish it wouldn't be. Was it so nice and clear in Mordona? Keep an eye on that, just like Saramek told us to. Ooh. I got you, my man. Don't even worry about it. Thank you, adventure. For a moment there, I feared that my bones were to be ground up and used to bake bread. I am relieved to see that you are unharmed. It was wrong of me to press such a dangerous task upon you. My lady, your worries are wasted on me. 'Twas nothing at all, I assure you. Ahem. If it please you, I shall report on my findings. As you can see, though the tip of the fragment is exposed, the rest is encased in rock and crystal, rendering it impossible to enter the structure. We might try excavating the area around the fragment, but that is like to take time, and there really is no telling how deep we may need to dig before we find a suitable point of ingress. Maybe you're right, Sprightly. As such, I am forced to conclude that gaining entry to this fragment is unrealistic. Forgive me, my lady. Confound it! We are losing precious time. What are we to do now? 'Tis I, Urianger. Glad tidings have I for thee and my lady. For a blessing, a way hath been found by which thou mayest enter the remaining fragments of Dalamad. Pray escort Mistress Alisaie to the cerulean processing plant in northern Thanalan. There, all shall be made clear. Urianger has found a way. Then we must go to him at once. I have made a grave mistake, but it'll be fine. Koji, do you have the third tier of the coils unlocked? Mine apologies for summoning you thus far, my lady, but 'tis here that your journey may finally begin. I did wonder. To my knowledge, there are no fragments in northern Thanalan. No, nor are you mistaken, my lady. Yet a pathway doth exist, one which you yourself have made use of in the past. At the conclusion of your several forays into the binding coil, 'twas at the crystal formation which lieth to the north of this place that you did emerge, was it not? Yes, an ethereal stream bore us back to the surface. That much I had surmised. Are you suggesting that we can use it to return underground? And even if that were possible, would it simply not bear us back to those places which we have already explored? It need not, my lady. Pray allow me to explain. Upon the evidence of your experience, it seemeth plain that the two intermediate hulks may share the selfsame ethereal egress. From this, we did infer that others may be connected in likewise. Thus did we labor long to verify the existence of further tributaries of the selfsame stream. In which task we were at length successful. 'Twas then but a matter of arriving at a solution to the problem of traveling to an unattuned destination, that one might reach what we may call the headwater. We propose to employ a modified aetherite, which serveth to amplify such ripples as do originate from said source. By focusing one's essence upon these ripples, it should be possible to make the journey. Yet be fairly warned, my lady, as with all untried modes of ethereal travel, this method entaileth considerable dangers. Merely to attempt the voyage could cost you your life. 'Tis a risk I am willing to take. You are brilliant, Urianger. But I am curious. Did you have assistance in forming this plan? I could not help noticing your reputed use of the word we, unless you have taken to using the majestic plural in our absence. Nay, my lady, as you have correctly surmised, I was not alone in this endeavor. Meaning there are others who are aware of our mission? Moonbreeda helped him figure this out. Well, it cannot be helped now. Preventing Bahamut's return is what matters. If some secrecy must be sacrificed to achieve our goal, then so be it. But because you can do this all on a big road, there is a chance that she might not have come up yet. So we have to be vague. That's why you do things in this order. It's very good. Because what we are using is what we just used to do Shiva. If you do these things out of order, it's a little convoluted. Verily, 'twas not my wish to withhold knowledge of the aid I received. I pray that Mistress Alice will forgive me when she learneth of its source. So that must be the modified aetherite. But what are the immortal flames doing here? Those men may be sworn by the flames of Ulda, but they are first and foremost faithful retainers of House Levier. Elfino! So it was you who was helping Urianger. Who else could it have been, dear sister? It was also Moonbreeda, by the way, because this was her idea, for Shiva. Lest you worry, I have no intention of making the details of your venture public. Like you, I would prefer to avoid causing a panic. But given that which is at stake, namely the survival of the realm, one must be willing to accept help when it is offered. Would you not agree? At the very least, do not be cross with Urianger. 'Twas at my behest that he kept silent. Huh, we will speak later. Pray forgive me, my lady, but knowing full well your intent, I judged it meet that Master Elfino be informed. Though your grandsire hath become Bahamut's thrall, his noble blood courseth yet through both your veins, and if he must needs be struck down. Do you hear that, Elfino? I mean to strike down grandfather, and when I have done so, I shall banish Bahamut to the ether. Nothing you say will sway me from my course. I will protect Eorzea, and I will uphold grandfather's legacy. Grandfather's legacy? So you still do not know what you yourself desire. Your actions are driven by borrowed resolve. Borrowed resolve? What does that have to do with anything? Protecting Eorzea was grandfather's goal, and we made it ours, both of us. This is why we came here, unless you have forgotten. God forbid I should ever forget, Alice, but you misunderstand. I do not question your resolve, only whence it came. If it were your own, you would be able to tell me precisely why you desire so fervently to protect Eorzea. Yet you cannot, for it is not your resolve but grandfather's. You may struggle to see the difference, but borrowed resolve shall never be as strong as that which springs from within. But let us speak of this another time. For now, preventing Bahamut's return is all that matters. To be plain, I have no objection of striking down whatever is left of grandfather. Know, however, that I will be accompanying you this time. As a son of House Levier, I would be present for his final moments. Very well. You may join us on one condition. I make the decisions. If it pleases my lady, the name's Erencard, our preparations are just about complete. When you're ready to embark on your mission, just give me the word, and I'll be waiting for you at the ceruleum processing plant. Pay no heed to my brother. You can rely on me. We have come far together, you and I, and together we shall see our journey to its end. I have been waiting for you, Mistress Yana. I am pleased to say that the Aetherite is primed and ready. As you know, the remaining intermediate hulks are connected to the fragments in Eastern Thanalan and Mordona. It's to the former that we'll be sending you first. Now, you'll be starting inside the hulk, meaning you won't have to cover so much ground. The drawback being that you'll be fighting for your life from the moment you get there. Best be prepared for anything, for my lady's sake, if not your own. And that's about all I can tell you. When your preparations are in order, just give me the word, and I'll send you on your way. I may even throw in a prayer for your speedy return, just to be on the safe side. Okay. I have to see... I'm about to throw out some food. I'm gonna toss this cabbage. I'm gonna toss this. Because I'm going to need space. I'm gonna throw out all these little chocolate balls. And throw out these pumpkins. And I think that'll be okay for now. Okay. Let me see very quickly. I do not believe anyone is actually around that can be of assistance, so we will have to beg for help as we always do. I am doing... no, I'm doing raids. I'm doing... final core. There we go. Now we just gotta wait, as we must. We need about 2 people, I think, just to make things go smoothly. But maybe 1 will be okay. This is the fun one with the pipe I can run along on. Let me look again and see if I can acquire. I think everyone I know is sleeping. Yeah, it does not look like anyone is about. Such is life. We will just wait. It doesn't usually take too long, though I should maybe fill in time. You know what we can do? Destroy my inventory. Yes, but it was the oh, it was the Alamegan horse. I think that was what I was on. This one. It's very pretty. I got him as a gift, I think. Let's just do some cookings while we wait for people that are stronger than me. Lexus wants you to prepare a banquet fit for a sultana. Thank the gods you're here, Akali. The admiral's due to receive the Sultana of Ul'dan, and the Bismarck's been called on to handle the welcome and feast, but that ain't the half of it. The Sultana specifically requested that your cooking be served. It seems word of your talents reached even Her Majesty's ears, and naught would do, but she must sample your culinary creations. Now that's all well and good, but there's a bleeding lot at stake here. Pleasing the Sultana would win you more than acclaim than aught else you could do, but if you was to bugger it up, well, I'd rather not dwell on it. Right now, all we know is she's keen to dine on something tasty, but if you want to guarantee your royal client satisfaction, you'll need to learn what she's hankering for. As always, you can count on the help of your guildmates. For starters, you do well to consult Dive and Dove, woman's from Ul'dah, as you know, and might be as she can offer some insights into the Sultana's preferences. Off you go now, and good luck. In Ul'dah, commoners like myself seldom get the chance to see the Sultana in the flesh. 'Tis a great honor being called upon to prepare Her Grace's meal, but I warn you proceed with caution. I'm sure you will recall Lord Laredo, your erstwhile patron. While a troubling rumor is circulating to the effect that he arranged this royal visit, as a member of the Syndicate, it is entirely within his power to do so. And if the whispers can be believed, Lord Laredo's sole purpose for bringing the Sultana to Limsa Lominsa is to humiliate you, Akali, and by extension the Bismarck. Whatever his reasons, 'twould seem he is still intent on proving your creations wanting. So as to preserve our good name, it would be to your benefit to do as the Guildmaster suggested and learn all you can of the Sultana's tastes. For this, I recommend you consult Letitia. Knowing her, she's already begun looking into the matter. I've been expecting you, Akali. I may be more bookkeeper than chef, but I'm no less a member of the Bismarck. As such, I mean to do all within my power to see that you succeed in pleasing the Sultana. Lord Laredo has gone to great lengths to prevent us from discovering the Sultana's preferences, but discover them we shall. At any given time, there are a great many Uldans visiting Limsa Lominsa. Be it for business or leisure, I suggest you begin learning all you can from them. You might also wish to speak with Roba Epicon, a former colleague of mine at Melvian's Gate. As a customs officer, she has an overview of exports in Ul'dah. I realize that this may be a stretch, but we cannot have too many hints. You would know about the Sultana? Her Grace is possessed of a good heart, that much is plain. But if you seek my honest opinion, she is rather young to be ruling. Oh, her preference is at table? In that case, I know for a fact that she is partial to crown pie. I once went to a pastry to buy one, only to be informed that her Grace had bought the entire shop. Why, yes, I do happen to come from Ulta. Is there something you require? You wish to know what the Sultana likes to eat? I scarce qualify to judge such things, but I do recall this one time I went to the markets. There was a vendor carrying his stock of meats, and if the fellow is to be believed, his beef was bound for the royal kitchens, to be used to make beef stew for her Grace. I hope that helps. What the Sultana likes to eat, you ask? I cannot claim first-hand knowledge, but some moons ago there was an article in the Mithril Eye. Her Grace was on a royal visit to Gridania, where she reportedly fell in love with a local dish, something called a trapper's quiche, if memory serves. Is this game really gonna make me make 4 different dishes? I think that's disgusting. I simply do not have room in my inventory to deal with such matters. Excuse me. You must be from the Bismarck. Letitia sent word that you might be along to learn what matter of cuisine the Sultana enjoys. While I do not have plain answers for you, I can tell you that F-Tail suddenly vanished from the Lamencian market right before her Grace arrived. Some investigative work revealed that the tales were snapped up by the East Eleanor Trading Company, which is chaired by none other than Lord Laredo. Somehow I doubt this is a simple coincidence. After all, when one thinks of F-Tail, one cannot help but think of the Anopsius dish, F-Steak. I would wager that Lord Laredo seeks to prevent you from making it. All the more reason to prepare a plate, no? I did. I purposely made her as small as possible. Itty bitty. "'Tis good to see you return, Akali. Judging by your elated expression, I take it your investigation has borne fruit. 4 potential fruits, you say. An F-steak, a bowl of beef stew, a serving of trapper's quiche, and a crown pie. Picking which one the Sultana has the greatest tendery for is a quandary. So why not prepare all of them? This is to be a grand banquet, is it not? It would certainly not be taken amiss if you were to present several dishes. With that settled, you best get to work. Needless to say, all the dishes must be prepared to the highest standard, and once they are ready, please deliver them to the banquet venue. Speak with Zathanel at Bulwark Harl, and he will grant you admittance. This is the moment of truth, Akali. Go and do us proud." Oh, Jesus. Can I make any of these right off the bat? I don't think so. I think I'm missing ingredients for everything. F-steak. I made that earlier. Yeah, I'm missing a tail though. F-steak. Beef stew. Okay. I can get the onion here. Trapper's quiche. Okay. And crown pie. Okay. I have most of these things. Alright. It's about making them high quality. That's the real chore here. Let's get our crap. Actually, I think it's tiny crowns. Oh, they're so expensive. Okay. I'm also going to eat. Do I have something that will give me good control? No. Alright, here we go. Can I use this? I can't use this. Well, I did 87 plus 87 is 90. No, it's. I think I'll go over, right? 3, 4, that's 16. That's 174. Yeah, I would go 2 over. So I won't do that. Oh, I hope I get a good. Excellent. Here we go. Okay, well, I did my best. 17%. Here we go. Alright. We try again. I don't know if we're actually going to get people for the coils, which would be very, very sad. But we'll have to do it next week then. Oh, I forgot to... Well, it is what it is. This is not going very well. It's very sad. I need an apple. What is it? Is it a mirror apple or a fairy apple? Mirror apple. Please, I just need like one apple. The problem is the tiny crowns are like 1,000 a pop. That's really, really rude. I might have to do this properly. Problem is, I only have 200 CP. Let's think. We start with this. We start with this. $6.56. Okay. That's rough. Okay, hold on. We do that. Pop that. Tempting. No, that's good. And then we get a good hit. Oh, that's 28%. That's not good enough. No, I just need Crown. Stop it. It's not ideal what's happening here. It's also not very exciting to watch. But I'm waiting for someone to take me through the coils. So we cook instead. Alright. I'm going to pop this. Oh. We are just going to do this then. Save CP. Oh, I wanted to hit that. Oh, that works too. We want this number to be as high as possible, and we have not been very successful in getting it as high as possible. There we go. I need some goods very, very badly. There we go. That gets us back to 88. Excellent. 115. %68. But I bet if it had been 69, it would have been fine. I just need crowns. At least it would have been nice, yeah. We're down to having to buy 3 crowns a pop. That's so sad. Yeah, he needs to be. I need Gordon Ramsay here to call me a donkey. Is that what you're saying? And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Holy shit. We hit them all, boys. I'm gonna do one of these. Yes. 9. I actually think this will be fine. We innovate, make great strides. There we go. Easy peasy. Now I gotta sell these freaking crowns that I bought 3 of. I do not need them anymore. I need them out of my inventory. Easy peasy. I sell these crowns. I bought them for 1,000, so that's what we will be selling them for. Oh. We'll sell them one at a time. I'll also sell these crappy little pies. Ugh. $500. No, there we go. Perfect. Now, what else do we have to make? We did the pies. I need F-tails, and I need quite a few of them, because I think they're used in 2 different things. Cooking is very important if you raid. Ugh. Cooking and alchemy, if you are a raider, are like the biggest 2 professions you can have. They're all important, because you can, when you have things at max level, you can repair your own gear. But cooking makes you the food. You Koji, you clown, you raid! They are... You make your own pots, and you make your own, potion. You make your own potions, and you make your own food, and you save yourself thousands upon thousands of dollars. Unlike Koji here, who is probably spending thousands and thousands of dollars. Crafting has never been easier. Oh, please get that excellent. Get it. God damn it. Oh man, I used to do that. Never again. I actually used to supply a raid team I wasn't even on. I was just part of the FC. I'm trying to do math in my head, and it's like... $67, 32, 46, that's 56, 66. Okay, I don't have enough to do that. But I can do this. No, I was part of the FC, and I was doing it as a kindness because I did like those people. I shall tell you that story one day, Koji. It's fucked up. 87, 32, 56, 66, 67, 68, 69. That'll be fine. For 90? I am glad that people are here watching me do basic addition and like barely getting by. I really appreciate it. Cream cheese and Midland basil. Okay. Need this. I only want one. Thank you. Midland basil. I'm just gonna grab everything I need from right here. I can buy the onions and the pepper at the culinarian place. I think. Wild onion. Wild onion! Perfect. Can I? Black pepper's gonna be crazy expensive. I can already feel it in my bones. And I need cream cheese. Let's ask our resident cook, Zath, how he feels about that. What do you think about all this? Using sirloin steak for stew. You have pepper. I know you sell black pepper. Hold on. Can I just not read? There it is. I can tell you. A scrumptious stew made by slowly cooking buffalo meat in sour red wine for several hours until it falls off the bone. Someone just told me... Someone just sent me a whisper that said that if I wanted to see the Coils, I should just watch it on YouTube. Thank you, sir. I will, What a what a dick thing to say. I need about 2 people. The last 4 can be done with 1. But it's just a little bit faster with 2. And it will be unsynced, yeah. What up? I can't while I'm in cooking mode, but I will. It's getting a little late. We would go super over. I'm just gonna finish the cooking quest and I'll do it tomorrow, or next Saturday. Yeah, 1 second. 20, 10. No, yeah, Coils is gonna take forever. I was willing to go a little over, but we're looking at like 45 minutes over at that point. So I'm just gonna finish my cookings. I should probably just end Party Finder. Almost made a mistake. 1, 2. Oh, I didn't do Inner Quiet. Shoot. That's very bad and very dumb of me. Yes. Well. Shit. That sucks. I would have had that too. Hold on. I can fix this. I messed up. Give me another. Oh, hold on. Black pepper. Oh, I see. I see. Get out of here, leeches. Why are you gonna beat up Yoshi P? What did he do to you? Yeah, it says a scrumptious stew made by slowly cooking buffalo meat in sour red wine for several hours until it falls off of the bone. The bone. Don't yell at me. Hell yeah, bots. Look at all the bots. How exciting. Six at 17%. $81. That sucks. That sucks. Ugh. Let me just make the other one. Are you scared? Don't be scared. It'll be fine. In Yoshi P's defense, he doesn't do the translations. That is Koji Fox. Koji Fox wrote that. And if you want to hurt Koji Fox, you're not alone in that desire. That's how everybody feels. Everyone wants to beat up Koji Fox. There we go. I need to get more sirloin steak that can fall right off the bone. Oh, I don't have that to show off, but yeah. You don't want sirloin steak falling off the bone, Sam? Is that not what you deeply, deeply enjoy? Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh, thank you, thank you. We are doing one coil. Because that's all this person can help with. And then we'll finish cooking. So this is how it looks like on the inside. This intermediate hulk still functions. The teleportation was a success. We are come to the right place. There is no telling how much further Bahamut has regenerated since last we beheld him. Let us make haste to the main bridge and deactivate the coil. Those were receptacles similar to those in the previous hulk. Those held chimerical beasts, but only the Elegons know what other abominations might be sleeping within. They may well be part of Dalamel's internal defenses. We must stay on our guard at all times. This is actually a hard one to do solo. And I will definitely die. I'm stuck. Oh. Surely I will be fine. Well, surely I will be just fine. watch this happen. Oh, he rezzed me. Goodbye. I did it. It's level 50. That man is level 80. Treasure, treasure, treasure. By the 12 dragons, and so many. We were aware that the Allagons possessed the means to control the creatures, but to imprison them thus is barbaric. I would not wish such a fate upon my worst enemy. 'Tis plain that no love lost was lost between the Allagons and the dragons, but was it truly necessary to keep a great number here? Dalaman did not want for defenses. This we have experienced firsthand. Such guardians as the Allagons created, both living and unliving, were surely no less capable of repelling intruders than these poor creatures. Tell me something, Alice. Have you not managed to determine by whose will Bahamut exists? No, I have not. At first I assumed that Bahamut had no people of his own, that the Allagons had perhaps discovered a way to stimulate prayer itself. However, Nail's words give me cause to reconsider, specifically the Shade's mention of Bahamut's beloved children. From that, I have inferred that the primal is given form by the will of worshippers, whom we have yet to... Oh. God strike me down for a blind fool. Bahamut's beloved children, right there before my very eyes. How could I be so stupid? Who else but the dragons of Eld would summon Bahamut? Who else but they could sustain him? And to think I wondered why the Allagons kept them imprisoned here. Even should the flame of Bahamut's life go out, his faithful children would summon him back. For this reason, the Allagon Empire kept an army of dragons here in a perpetual state of duress, that they might sustain the primal's existence. Truly, the Allagon's ingenuity knows no bounds, and neither did their cruelty. Small wonder that Bahamut was so enraged. Let no one deny that it is man who sowed the seeds of the calamity. Will you now turn your hatred toward your own kind, dear sister? Do not patronize me, Elfino. I merely acknowledge our guilt. Lest you be in doubt, I have no intention of allowing Bahamut to lay the world to waste. Regardless of the atrocities the Allagons committed against his kind, we have no choice but to eliminate all who worship him, be they his children or his thralls. It seems reasonable to assume that the system responsible for the Primal's regeneration is also responsible for sustaining the captive dragons. If we disable it, all should perish. Let us press on. I do too, but I know people hated it. Okay. Well, we'll have to do the rest of the coils next week, because there's definitely no time. I am just going to finish cooking. We'll see the cooking quest, the last cooking quest we can do for some time, and then we will be done. No, I need to do the stew. The beef sirloin. Fresh off the bone. Why are you judging? Don't judge. I'm gonna have to ditch something. I'll ditch these loaches can go. And onion. Onion. So, whenever I say onion, I was playing Ark with some friends. And Ark is a bad game. Let's make that clear. But you can tame dinosaurs. And that's good. And I tamed this little pink, he wasn't a raptor. It was the one with the, I don't know, I'm not a dinosaur expert, but he had like the frill. He's very cute. And he was bright pink. And I named him, because we were naming all our dinosaurs after food, so I named him Onion. But we would call him Onion. Onion. And I loved him very, very much. And I would take him with me to survive out in the wilderness. And then something terrible happened. And I couldn't get him to stop fighting another dinosaur, no matter how hard I tried. And little Onyo, my little pink dinosaur, lost his little dinosaur life. His little pink corpse was floating in the ocean. And I was just like, oh no! It was so sad. And so whenever I say Onyo, I think of my little pink dinosaur. And my friends I was so sad. No, I left him there because I didn't want to eat him. And my friends would get me other Onyos, but it just wasn't the same. I appreciate it though. They replaced him immediately. They were like, look, Onyo. And they called him like, it was like Spanish onion and other, like whatever other kind of red onion, yellow onion. And I was like, it's just not the same. And it's not my Onyo. I'm only at 5, but I am at 18%. I love Onyo. $76. If I could get another good. Ugh. Oh, I did it. Doesn't matter. I win. Onyo. Yeah, it was one of those little acid spitters. I don't remember what they're called. Who do I give this food to? I forgot already. Oh, I think I have to actually go. The people I play Ark with are very, very smart, and they know everything about dinosaurs, and they'll say dinosaur names to me, and I don't fucking know what any of that is. I'm like... I just don't know. You are the culinarian, Akaliana. I am informed that you will be serving an F-sake, a bowl of beef stew, a serving of trapper's quiche, and a crown pie for the Admiral's banquet. My lords and ladies are besides themselves with anticipation. Pray do not keep them waiting over long. Ah yes, the dishes. Yes, everything appears to be in order. You may enter it. Seth is dying. God, I'm so fucking hungry. Yeah, it's the level 50 quest. I do declare that that was a most magnificent meal. My sole lament is that I cannot eat another bite. Would that I had the girth of a goobu. It gladdens me to see your majesty so well satisfied. Forsooth, never have I known such satisfaction at table. You did not exaggerate when you told me that a culinarian of surpassing skill was to be found in Limsa Lominsa. Are you that culinarian, are you not? Thanks to you, I have tasted heaven. My gratitude is yours. This woman is acting like she doesn't know me. Like I'm not the warrior of light who just made her an amazing meal. How could she possibly have known every one of the Sultana's favorite dishes? Instead of being humiliated, she ends up winning her grace's adoration. Bah! Did you say something, Lord Laredo? Nay, your majesty. I was merely admiring the cuisine. As you say. Now then, my dear culinarian, pray tell me your name. I would send you a gift befitting your service this day. Please, Namino. You know who I am. Huh? You were given to understand that I requested you by name? Forgive me, but that appears to be a misunderstanding. I had entrusted the arrangements wholly to Lord Lodorito. She acted like she didn't know me, and that's probably the most hurtful thing that's happened today. I heard all about it, Akali. You did it again. God bless ye. To have the Sultana herself praise your cooking is a taste to heaven, else even I can't boast of such a feat. The Admiral commends me for training such a fine culinarian, but I did no more than teach you what it means to be one. Make no mistake, 'twas you that did all the hard work. Damn straight, you didn't teach me jack shit. You've surpassed even meself for fame, Akali. There ain't nothing left I can tell ye that you don't already ken. I'm prouder than I've any right to be. Nay, nay, 'tain't no modest accomplishment, lass, and from here on you'll go on to reach even greater heights in our craft. But wherever you end up, you'll always remember me words. It's passion what makes a culinarian. With that passion close to your heart, and put smiles on the faces of folk with your cooking, you can be sure I'll keep striving to do the same. I'm gonna put on my little chef hat. with little ear slots just for me. Perfect. I'm gonna take out this Lalafell. Okay. It's so cute. Well, that is all the culinary quests we can do. It was very important to see that quest before we got too far in the 50 story. It's important. It's good. I'll work on Alchemist, but we can take our time with that one. There's no rush. We will do the rest of the Coils next Saturday at 5 p.m. EST, which is when I will be back with Final Fantasy XIV. We won't do it right off the gate. I'm gonna do some Dragoon quests first, so if you're a little late, you won't miss all the good stuff with the Coils. And that is it. I will be... I am off tomorrow, as I always am, but I will be back on Tuesday at 2 p.m. EST with the Ace Attorney series. We are still in the first game, and we are in Chapter 3. And then I will be back at 6 p.m. EST with Pillars of Eternity 2, which will be very exciting, because I have no idea what that entails. So thank you so very, very much for being here. If you are looking for more of me and what I do, you can find my Twitter, my Discord, and my YouTube, all linked in my About page, along with everyone who has helped make this stream possible. That's it for me tonight, but I hope you all have a very lovely evening and stay safe. Goodbye!